It's come to my attention that Star Rail is the first gacha turn-based game for a lot of people, and there's a lot of what seems to me is misinformation being spread around by, I suppose one would call high-level players that are very experienced but don't seem to remember that not every player has their same experience. So when they tell a lower-level player to do something or how to do something, it's not very well explained. This is my first time making a guide, so bear with me. I hope this helps someone, and especially one of my oldest subscriber, Lizzie Chan. So he started playing this game and he commented and requested to make a guide video so he can understand the game better. So I'll give you some tips and trick things that I wish that I knew when I start playing this game. And mostly I am going to focus on the end game content and how you can build your account to beat those. In this game, when I say end game, there are 3 end game content that most of you know: Pure Fiction, Memory of Chaos, and Apocalyptic Shadow. So I am going to give you every single detail that I think is necessary to build your account as a free to play so you can beat the end game. For anyone who just wants some tips, you've come to the right place. Grab your Trailblazers boots and your coffee. We're diving in. Hey, I'm not going to waste your time by giving you beginner guides. Instead, I will focus on how to build your account properly. One thing that I always said, and you need to keep in mind, HSR or any other gacha grinding game is always a marathon, not a race. So take your time, build your characters slowly, don't rush anything, you will get there eventually. Don't get fixated on meta. Meta is always changing and always new characters will come. Always something new will happen to the game, so meta is constantly changing, so don't fixate on meta. Today is break meta, tomorrow will be summoning meta, and the day after tomorrow will be something else. So try to enjoy the game as much as possible. Pull whatever character you want and enjoy. With that being said, let's start with the guide. Again, I am assuming you already know the basics like skill points, manage, character path and elements, toughness bar, team composition. Most of the time you'll usually want 1 DPS, hunt, erudition or destruction, 1 sustain, preservation or abundance, 1 or 2 supports, harmony or nihility. Mix and match these roles depending on the fight, and don't forget to bring characters with elements that counter the enemy's weaknesses. Pro tip: if you're struggling, bring both a shielder and a healer for double sustain. If you're watching during version 2.7, Firefly is a must pull. She's overpowered and incredibly versatile. Not only can she deal high damage, but she can also implant weaknesses on enemies, making her a game changer even against non-weak opponents. Plus, she's easy to build. Just stack break effect stats, speed boots, and you're good to go. Those all are basics. Now we are going to move into the advanced stuff and how you can conquering endgame content. Let's start with character guides. When I said character guide, I not only mean how to build your character, but also know how your team actually performed or a certain character do a certain thing. For example, there are 5 type of damage dealer in the game right now: break effect type characters, ultimate damage dealers, DOT characters, summoning type characters, and follow-up characters. Knowing how your character actually works or deals damage will allow you to choose supports or build your team composition accordingly so you can dish out more damage. Remember, character guides are constantly evolving with new updates. Check out guides online or in-game recommendations to ensure your characters are optimized with the latest relics, light cones, and stats. Stay up to date and don't hesitate to rebuild characters as better artifacts or supports become available. Next stop, Speed Breakpoints. Speed dictates turn order and can drastically change your battle strategy. Understanding speed breakpoints ensures your characters act multiple times per cycle in challenging modes like Pure Fiction or Memory of Chaos. For these game modes, beating the stage in a certain amount of cycles allows you to hit all the objectives and get all the rewards of a stage. Because of this, there are some characters who you will want to act multiple times within a cycle. Honkai Star Rail determines turn order based on a number called action value. The closer the action value is to 0, the sooner a character will get their turn. To lower a character's action value, you must increase their speed. With all of this in mind, the higher the speed stat of a character, the more turns they can have within a certain number of cycles. Action value can be viewed in combat by enabling it in the settings menu. When enabled, the action value will appear beside the character and enemy's sprites in the action order. Here's a quick breakdown and full chart. 120 SPD, 2 turns by cycle 2, 134 SPD, 2 turns by cycle 1, 143 SPD, ideal for mid-tier characters, or 160 plus SPD, best for high investment characters. Equip speed boots for consistency, especially on supports like Bronny or Tingyun. For DPS, balance speed with attack stats based on your team's needs. Keep in mind that speed isn't always the best option. Some support characters like Bronny, Sparkle, and Sunday have advanced forward mechanics. If you don't know what advanced forward do, basically advanced forward takes your position value unrelated to speed and bumps your forward by a percentage. If your character position value was 100 and you advanced forward 100%, you'd go to 0th advanced value and get another turn. There are also light cones that provide advanced forward effects like dance. So it's not always necessary to prioritize speed. Sometimes attack boots are better. Here are some examples from my team comps. I use attack boots on Dan Hing because I have a speed-tuned Sparkle who can advance him forward, giving him more turns and allowing him to deal heavy damage. In my Akron team, Akron uses attack boots while her supports have 160 plus speed to get more turns and regenerate more stacks for her. In my Jingwen team, everyone uses speed boots. I've speed-tuned this team so Jingwen can have 10 Lightning Lord stacks. After his turn, Sunday goes next and advances him, allowing Jingwen to take another turn. These are just some examples of speed tuning and optimization. Depending on your team, this can change, so research your team's best rotation and optimization to speed tune it effectively. Pro tip: optimize your character based on speed. Sometimes using speed means sacrificing some damage because you're swapping attack boots for speed boots. While attack boots give higher numbers, speed boots offer more consistency in damage output. General rule of thumb: aim for 135 speed or no speed for DPS characters. Aim for 145 plus speed for support characters. For break teams, aim for 160 plus speed. For remembrance characters that are coming in the next patch, for them you need to aim for 200 speed. There are always exceptions, so make sure to check the build of your characters. If you need more details, I've already made a video about it that you can check out. Team building for Endgame. Now that you understand turn order, your team damage dealing type, and speed breakpoints, let's talk about team building. This is the most crucial part of conquering endgame content. I've noticed that both new and older players often pull characters from banners without thinking about team composition, especially DPS characters. For example, a player, I won't name names, pulled Firefly, then Akron, and later Fei Xiao, just because they have high damage potential. However, he struggled to achieve the expected damage because he lacked the necessary support characters like Ruin Mai and Robin. Without these supports, Fei Xiao couldn't reach her full potential. The same applies to Break Team's Firefly won't perform well without Ruin Mai or Fugue as support. For his Akron team, he only had Pella as a Nihility character and used Gwynaifin as a substitute, which isn't ideal for Akron's support. The point is, pulling characters without their supports won't yield good results. Focus on building a team around one DPS character, whether it's Akron, Fei Xiao, Firefly, Dan Heng, or Jingliu. Research the best team compositions for these characters and aim to pull those specific supports, even if they are limited banner 5-star characters. For example, if you're building Akron's team, her best in-slot supports are Akron, Zhao Chao, Adventuring, and Pilla. If you don't have Zhao Chao, you can use Silver Wolf as a second best option and still achieve high damage. The key is to build a well-rounded team. In summary, focus on creating strong team compositions rather than pulling random characters. Look up guides to find the best teams for your DPS characters and aim to pull the necessary supports. Focus on creating synergy. Build around a single DPS and their best in-slot supports. Prioritize investing in supports. They're versatile and can be reused across teams. Ensure you have teams covering multiple elements to counter enemy toughness effectively. Believe it or not, you need to build multiple teams so you can counter enemy toughness. Remember, your supports are eternal, while your DPS can be changeable. Focus on building your supports to the point where you don't need to adjust their relics, light cones, etc. You don't need 5-star LC. 4-star light cones can be just as good. For example, you can use the same break team with Ruin, Gallagher, and HMC and just switch the main DPS depending on the situation. For MOC, it's Firefly. For Pure Friction, it's Rappa. And for Apocalyptic Shadow, it's Boot Hill. As you can see, my support is eternal. Finally, practice your team rotation. Even with the same characters, stats like speed and relics can affect our turn order. Experiment and refine until you nail down an optimal sequence. Pro tip: you don't need any 5-star light cones. I've completed every single endgame challenge as a free-to-play player without having any signature light cones. You know why? because I build my characters properly, level them up, use good relics on them, level up their talent, and build a team around them with their supports. So, if anyone says you need signature light cones to succeed in endgame content, that's not true. I only have 2 signature light cones that I recently pulled, one for Firefly and another for Akron. Other than that, I don't have any other signature light cones, just cause I love those characters. In short, for PF you need erudition characters, mainly 2 free ones, Herta and Himeko. Herta, despite being a free 4-star character, is worth building as she is one of the best 4-star characters available. Her constellations are also free and can be obtained by completing the simulated universe, making her an easy E6 character. Himeko can be picked up for free in patch 2.7. If you've already chosen another character, you can get her after 300 pulls or hope to get her in your next 50-50 hits or standard banner. You don't need any other erudition for PF. I don't have any limited erudition except Jing Yuan, who isn't ideal for PF like other erudition characters. Yet I still clear every PF since it was introduced in the game. For MOC, any good destruction or hunt unit like Fei Xiao and Boot Hill will work. Ensure you have their best or second best team and build them properly. For Apocalyptic Shadow, any hunt unit is good, like Dr. Ratio and the hunt version of March 7th. Hoyo gave us Dr. Ration for free. You have a god tier free unit capable of clearing MOC and a par Apocalyptic Shadow. So you need to build a wide range of characters and invest heavily in them. Take your time, don't rush, and build one team at a time while learning their rotations. Eventually, you'll have a wide range of teams that can handle any content the game offers. Or just pull Firefly. I don't want to admit it, but she is that good. She is dominating every endgame content. I've been playing this game for almost 3 years. Since day 1 of 1.0 as a free-to-play player. Building my account took time, so don't worry about it. Take your time. Here is an overview of my account. And that's it for today's beginner guide to Honkai Star Rail. Whether you're breaking shields, mastering turn order, or pulling for that shiny 5-star character, remember to have fun. Alright, I'm off to grind some Stellar Jade. Until next time, thanks for watching. Peace out.
回来，大球球冰了，2球球敲，3球球菜肴，4球球熬，5球球莫名死掉，6球球抬，7球球闷着头挖坑，8球球。